The Diabetes Nerd podcast is proud to be sponsored by the Eversense 365-day implantable continuous glucose monitor brought to you by Essentia Diabetes Care. I've been using the Eversense CGM since April of 2025, and I love it. It's the only CGM device that lasts a year. The sensor was placed just under the skin on my arm. The transmitter sits on my skin with this silicone adhesive, and I can take it on and off. I love it. Learn more about Eversense 365 at eversensecgm.com.
It's you start here, it's
gosh.
nothing but downhill.
Here we go. Wow, this is awesome. This is a side of Neil I haven't seen. Hey, welcome to the Diabetes Nerd podcast. My name is Ginger, and as you can already tell, we don't edit this at all. Unlike our amazing guest who's going to be on the show.
That could be a mistake, Ginger.
That's
could be
how
a bit
we
of a
roll.
mistake.
That's how we roll at the Diabetes Nerd podcast. I live with type 1 for a whole bunch of years. With me is my bestie and business partner, Tara Mayo, and our guest today is the one and only Neil Greathouse.
What is it going to take, Ginger, for me to get in that bestie category? Because I know business partner, I'm not going to be able to live up to that because I bring nothing to the table. But I will do whatever it takes to get in that bestie category. I'm sorry, Tara. I'm not gunning for you, but I just love to share the same space with you.
Neil, I don't think you could handle it. I don't think you want.
Tara's shaking her head like, no, Neil, step away. You do not want any of this.
Tara, do you want to kind of just help him feel better?
I don't advise it. I'm not sure how I got here. I do feel lucky, privileged, honored, all of those things most days.
Okay, that's a safe answer. We'll talk offline, Tara.
Yeah, it's a heavy lift.
Wait. Okay, wait. So listen. All right, Neil, we love you, and we wanted to do this chat with you because, well, we love you, but also because it's fascinating to both of us how you've gone from, I mean, we've never seen this other side of you, but you've spoken about it, you've written about it in your books, from being someone who really ignored his diabetes. I don't know if that's the word you'll use, diabetes denial. I don't know if it was just IDGAF, which we can't say all the way because, yeah, there you go. All right.
Oh,
She's
man.
got the book. What book number
You
one?
have what? I have one.
Wait, book
What?
number 2. Where's book number 1? Hold up book number 1.
Hold, please.
I have book number
Hold,
1.
please. I got it. No, it's right there. It's right
There
there.
you go. Love it. Okay. I see a series formulating with these
Yeah.
these covers. Okay. So you went from really, I don't even know if struggling is the right term. I think you were like apathetic about it. It sounds like.
It's interesting you asked that because I know you, when you emailed me, you're like, hey, we need to talk about this. I was like, oh, dang, I need to learn how to articulate this at some point in a complete thought, because I think what it comes down to, Ginger, is I take care of myself up until recently because I have to, not because I want to, or not because I enjoy it, or not because I've kind of imagined taking care of myself with type 1 like David Goggins is just cussing me out on a daily basis. Like, no help's coming, bro. You better get up. It's like that. I'm just like, oh gosh, I got to do this again. All right, stop cussing at me, Dave. Can I call him Dave? Oh, he's going to hate me for that. He won't know about this. You do it because you have to. Mm-hmm. You don't have a choice. You got nobody come in. Nobody's going to rescue you. You got to do it. Why am I doing this with my shoulders? I don't know. But it's been
You're
because
in a mood today. Can I just tell you, you're in such a silly mood today. I love it.
Heart rate. What's my heart rate right now, Ginger? I just got off of too many calls, other business calls, and I've had this one marked on my calendar, and I've just been really excited about it.
Good.
It really does come down to that, Ginger. It's like, I think a lot of us do it because we don't have a choice. And I, at some point, realized,
we all, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
I
cut you
do
off.
have a
You're about to
choice.
say something profound, and I just interrupted you.
No, yes, I don't really remember what I was going to say. There's zero profound
You
coming out of it.
realized
It's
at
just a
some
string
point
of
that
words.
you do have a choice.
Yeah, no, we do, and I think a lot of us we can kind of do it because we have to, and at some point, I know you're gonna make me dig into this, and I am about to lay down on the couch, and we're gonna do a session together. But what ended up happening is, and I'll just say this, we get it out of the way, and then you could either make fun of me or whatever. But I started to fall in love with the process, and that's never happened to me. Did it take me 33 years to get there? Yeah, I really don't want that for anybody else, but I can't tell you when that's going to happen. I can't tell you when you're going to go, this is actually kind of cool. This is actually kind of eye-opening. This is way more than just carbs and insulin and glucagon and blah, blah, blah. What's ghrelin?
Tara,
I
this
don't
is
want
what
to know.
you said yesterday on the phone. This is literally what she said yesterday on the phone. And we're not going to make fun of you, Neil, because I've never thought of it that way. But that's what happened to me in my early 20s when I started pursuing powerlifting, right? And then I started learning this other science, and I was like, oh, there's like all this science back here that nobody
Right.
told me. And it makes it more fun. It makes you feel more empowered. It makes it more interesting. And it makes it also less, it makes it less frustrating to an extent because you just understand all the levers that are working against you. It's like,
Yeah. It's like, there's, okay. Gosh, Adam Grant, I love you. Thank you for coming out with your books. There's a couple of other people that have written a bunch of books that have helped over the years for me to just kind of get to where I am.
Adam Brown? You mean Adam Brown?
Adam Grant, yeah, I'm more talking about like habits, healthy habits, all that kind of stuff. Now, Adam Brown, actually, I was going there too. Adam Brown came out with the whole, is he the 42 factors of whatever, is that him? Yeah. That actually is fairly limiting because I think there's a bazillion D factors.
For sure. Yeah.
And there's a side to this that I had just said, these are the things that I have to manage. And I don't want to be self-promoting. When I started the beginning of this year with the whole Your Best T1D year, I did it selfishly.
Of course.
Because I wanted
not
it.
Selfish.
I wanted it for me. And I got to mid-December thinking about, if somebody asks me to write down my goals for next year, I'm gonna hit him in the head with a cricket stick. I don't want to. I'm like, I have to go find a cricket bat or paddle. I don't know what they are first, but it's like I started looking at the year and I started recognizing that everybody sets these goals and all this kind of stuff, but we have to do it every year. We got to do it every day. We get done with our A1C. That was what went through my mind when I walked out with a good A1C this year. I was like, fantastic, Neil. Are you going to keep doing this? Like, what's the, suck it up, buddy. Here we go. And
that's actually the video that triggered this, is because you posted that reel of the lowest A1C you've ever had in decades with diabetes.
Right.
And I'm actually hiding from my A1C actively right now. I have my annual checkup today, and I was supposed to go to the blood lab sometime in the last 10 days and get my A1C done. I did try. I showed up once. It was closed.
Okay.
And I was like, ugh, I'm not trying this again. I don't feel like it. And so I've never done this. I've never skipped any. I just know it's going to be a little higher, and I just don't care. And I know why it's a mess. And
but that's
so it's just a
life,
funny
though.
contrast. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. So I looked at the year and I'm like, National Quitters Day is January 19th. I'm going to start something on January 19th because that's when people give up. And the problem is we look at these big swings we have to take. And we think, I got to improve my A1C by this, my time and range by this. I want to have this. And there's no finish line for this. It's a continuation. So let's really talk about some of the habits. Now I'm going to, if I can just be, I've never said this on a podcast before. I've never talked about this publicly. So this is what I used to do is I had to go to the VA to get my blood work. So I don't get my medications or even access to go pay for my medications. I can't get a prescription unless I go to these appointments. I have to go 4 times a year. So I would go begrudgingly. And in the very beginning, and for years, for at least 7 years, probably close to 10, my A1C is in the 11s. I mean, it's super high, and they're asking me to bring in they're like, hey, could you bring in your diabetes journal, bring in your log, your whatever. And
Right.
I almost wanted to bring in I'm like, I don't like this guy. He doesn't care about me. I'm bringing in an actual log next time. I'm going to say, here you go, man. Is this what you were hoping for? And I had convinced myself that I deserved a reward for going to these doctor's appointments. And even though I had a horrible A1C, my reward, here it is. The VA where I used to live was right next to a Dairy Queen. And when I would get done with my endo visit, I was like, the emotional trauma this bro is giving me, I deserve something, even though I haven't done the work the other 4 months. Like I did zero work, did nothing. But I'm like, I came to this appointment and this is what I need to do. And so I would treat myself. Treat yourself. I would treat myself to not 1, 2 peanut butter parfaits, because that guy stressed me out. And it was this cycle of this thing that I was like, because I would go in there and if he would say, wow, your numbers are improving, I would know I didn't do a whole lot to improve them. They just happened to improve, man. I haven't put the work into it. And it was so disheartening to go into these appointments and see a number, and I would walk on and be like, man, I can't even really celebrate this. I got to do it again. Like it's not like you run a race and you hit the tape and you're like, oh my gosh, I did that. I never want to do that again. You and I talked about that with running. You said, never run a marathon again in your life, Neil. You might be an idiot if you're running marathons. And that's the thing. You hit the tape and you're like, this is fantastic. I don't want to do it again, but we don't have that choice. And so I ran from it because it was exhausting knowing that.
Well, you didn't feel empowered or in charge of anything related to your diabetes.
None of it.
Yeah,
None of it.
yeah.
So that used to be what I did on a fairly regular basis. And then over the years, I got into the tactics of, okay, I can learn the pump. I can learn this, I can learn that. But I have a personality that just pushes through whatever the emotions are. I'm like, I got stuff to do, man. I don't have time to think about this. I don't have time to think about whether I enjoy food. Food is a means to an end. I got to do my job. And I started realizing there's the other half of the coin of, my attitude and all this might actually factor into it at some point. And being in this type 1 diabetes space, Ginger, I have watched a lot of people come and go and not have a lot of long-term impact. And I realize I want that. I want to matter and to count for what I do over the long haul, not what I do sporadically. And that translates over to type 1 as well.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah.
So
and
my words per minute count is off the chart right now.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, if I can just say something like that, I feel is beneficial. Is you had that light bulb moment, you made the pivot, and what I see, because I follow you and I learn from you, and I feel like other people, what you have now started with your change is you have created a blueprint for other people to be able to follow, and everything is in bite-sized, manageable pieces. And when I don't have type 1, if I set a goal for anything else, I notice that I really need to listen, read, see, watch, hear, all of those things consistently to keep me moving towards my goal. So if I was a person living with type 1 diabetes, you would be very important in my life so that I could listen to your podcast, I could read your books, I could, your social media. The same with I would be doing the same with Ginger. I have these core people that I would follow, and what you two produce gives people the momentum to keep going.
That's a good way to put it, Tara. Is that because you're giving your nuggets, Neil, in your podcast and on your social channels, it's this little nugget for that. Like, just, you said
Yeah.
keep moving towards my
Just
goal.
show up.
And it just is like a little bit of at a time versus some big book you read and then it's like, okay, now I'm on my own.
I mean, I've read. Here's that's actually what I like about your books. Your books have so much story woven into them and real super practical things. I'm like, all right, I'm going to pause on that for a little bit and see, can I actually work that into how I practically manage my day? And you and I have talked about this before. We severely overestimate what we can do in the short term, and we underestimate what we can do over the long haul. And the habits are the difference. So if managing type 1 diabetes is exhausting and because it's relentless and it's not going to stop, then I need to change how I approach it. And it's just little things every day. I can't swing for the fences, man. I got to hit dingers. I just need to get on base. I don't need a home run. I just need to be consistent. Consistency outperforms intensity every single time.
Yeah, because, you know, like 95% time in range might feel awesome for 3 days, but by day 4, you're going to be like, oh my God, I need to go live my other parts of my life.
Yeah. And then when you do fall out of that and it's so demoralizing, you're like, well, I'm giving up on that. That was too much for too little. I can't maintain that over the long haul.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also just said something. Oh my gosh.
Was it
What did you
dingers?
say?
Was it hit dingers? Is that what I said?
Consistency.
That's sports team talk for Tara.
Okay.
No, it was the idea that you need to change how you're approaching it. If it's feeling unsustainable and impossible, you can't change the diabetes, right? So you can't change the workload. You can't change the things that we have to do. Mm-hmm. You have to change how you approach it. And I think that's a really important mind shift for people.
I'm going to pull out my notebook here really quick because this is something I wrote down for my team with what I do with a marketing services team. I work for an agency, and I wrote down this question because I'm going to ask my team individually this: if we can't hire enough people fast enough for the growth that the company has, and there's a constant feeling of like, we need more help. I need this. And so the question is, if you knew that help wasn't coming, what would you do different to be more efficient? And it's like, if I can't change type 1 diabetes, which I can't even change the name of it because I don't really love the name of it. I wish it sounded cooler. There's nothing I can do about that. What do I do then to change my approach to it? That's the only thing I can control. And I don't want to try and do these big things for a short time period. I want to be here in 10 years still having conversations like this, Ginger.
Which is why you're not going to run a whole lot of marathons, right? Because we talked about the fact that's just going to break you down.
I mean, that's the law I was running this morning. I thought about it.
I'm team marathon. I say like,
Come on, Tara. All right.
All right, but wait, so that's a great transition to what are you doing differently?
You're going to think that this is a well thought out and articulated plan based off of marketing and all that kind of stuff. I started doing the things I talk about every month.
Of course, the little things.
It's so in January, I just said, if you can concentrate on one thing in January, just drink more water. It's going to help your time in range, A1C, all those types of things. And here's why it's going to help. Your doctor won't take 5 minutes out of your appointment because he has bigger things to talk about. He's not going to talk about the little things. And it's the little things that add up. So in January, I just said, could you drink 7 glasses? It's why I got this knucklehead thing right here full of water sitting right here. And I just started doing what I was talking about. Spent about a year, cheers everybody, spent about a year of what are the little things. And then in February, I'm like, hey, could you get a little more sleep? Could you get or aim for 7 hours of sleep? I don't get 7 hours of sleep.
okay, so I've been following along with your challenges, with the ones that I can, even though, water I have nailed. Sleep, I'm a work in progress, but I'm still going.
Okay. So Tara, here's the thing that you want to know what clicked for me because no lie, my wife said to me last night, she goes, wow, you think you're still getting 7 hours? Because when you had a challenge out there for everybody, you're doing really good, but are you slipping off the wagon a little bit? I was like, you shut your mouth, Gina. Here's what worked for me. I started setting alarm for when to go to bed, not just when to wake up.
Yeah.
And that idea didn't come from me. That came from Trey Watson. He's a guy, he's a real estate agent in Springfield, Missouri. He's got type 1. We became close friends. And he said, I realized I set an alarm to wake up, but I don't set one for when I should start getting ready to go to sleep. That time period drifts on us. And I started setting an alarm. And even if I didn't go to bed immediately when that alarm went off, at least it triggered. I'm in the zone here where I'm creeping into when I should be asleep. Everything else, I don't need to scroll anymore. I don't need to finish that. I could finish the show or whatever that is, but be done and go to bed and prioritize that. That's what clicked for me, Tara. And it wasn't an immediate shift, but over the course of that month, it shifted.
I'm going to try that.
Okay.
All right. March.
March was just steps. Can you get more steps than what you're currently getting? It wasn't just you need to get 10,000 steps, because for a lot of us, you try and get 10,000 steps a day. If you're getting 2,000 a day, it's too much.
Yeah.
So I just said, let's increase the steps and then talk about the science behind what is actually the benefit of this. Then April, we talked about not over treating lows. Ginger, that came from your book.
Good.
It came from your book because the thing that clicked was when you started talking about how many extra calories a year we are stacking on because Little Debbie is coming to the rescue for us every time. Little Debbie, you temptress, back away from me. And so I was like, all right, so what is the answer to that? And it was glucose tablets, or, which I've shifted from, it's glow glucose gummies for me now, because I don't like the taste of pain. I don't like the taste of dry. And that's what glucose tablets are. But they allowed me to not over-treat because they're not enjoyable. I treated them like medicine, not a treat. And I had convinced myself I deserved the treat because I'm low. I didn't ask for type 1 diabetes. Skittles get in my belly.
Here's my chance to eat all the things.
Yeah, and it's warranted, and nobody can say anything to you. They can say, "Should you be eating that?" But back off, man. My blood sugar's low. You can't.
I'm trying not to die. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, okay, have more cake." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have more cake." And look, you can see where the cake is now, actively around my midsection. So that was a huge one. Little things like that, like the month of September has just been, let's take a 5-minute reset. Like, could you, in the middle of your day, just breathe? Get up, walk outside, get some sun on your face, maybe put your feet in touch grass, whatever you need to do. Go sing a song. Ginger, again, you did this. We were getting ready to record a podcast. You were having a rough day, and you said, hang on, I'm going to go have a dance party with my girls. Whatever those things are, to shift our focus, to reset, because stress affects blood sugar. And so recognizing those patterns, this month is more for me than it is anybody else. I am so driven. I push past my emotions and what my body is actually telling me, because I don't really have time to listen. It's like, you're stressed out, whatever. I don't feel stressed. I don't have time for stress. I just need to push through this, as opposed to going, what is this doing to my blood sugar?
And pushing through it, you're not really pushing through it. It's just piling up and you're just not looking at it.
Right. Exactly. Little things like that. Not rage bolusing. And we talked about that after the month about, like, don't overcorrect, because one leads to the other. It's scientific, right? It's a low typically tends to lead to another low because we have over-treated, and then we are crashing. You said that. Doctors are saying that. It's in so many published papers. It's in there.
Yeah.
So little things like that. October is going to be about diabetes distress. And it's like there are two avenues. What I'm trying to do is actually explain more to people, like, where something comes from. Like, why are we over-treating lows? Let's talk about that a little bit, so you kind of know, starting with the why of it, and then showing people, not only am I doing this with you, I don't have all the answers, but I'm curious enough to go figure this out. If you know of something that works a little bit better, let's learn together. So on the diabetes distress, it's kind of trending right now in general. Like more people are talking about it, more clinics are talking about it. And I want people to know, where did that test come from? What does it mean? What is the T1 DDS or the 7 or T1 DDS? What does it mean? What does
Yeah.
T1-redeem mean? And then say, here's a place you can take the test. But you got to know, first of all, that's not a grade. Just like your A1C is not, it's just a number, man. It's okay, breathe. Let's figure out what that actually means. And then what do you do about it? And you could go skills or feelings. There are two different routes to it. Let's talk about that. Do you need more tactics? You got to dial something in a little bit, or are the feelings overwhelming and you need to get with a professional, or you might need to get a peer group. You might need to know who to connect with so you're not alone. There's little things like that. I'm just trying to take a month at a time and break it down.
Or even just write it down privately. I think so many people just don't even take the time to acknowledge it and be okay with the fact that I am stressed out and I do hate this disease and it is a lot of work and I'm exhausted. And to say it out loud and like let yourself feel those things instead of feeling like, oh, I'm supposed to be like empowered by this and be winning the Olympics, or something. It's okay.
Yeah. It's okay to even just sit in that a little bit, just recognize it. Like,
hey, I think I'm in that definitely this week. I'm like, I don't fucking care.
So it's like serious question for you. You don't expect this phase to last forever, but acknowledging that that's where you are, we all go through that, right? Like seriously,
I know why my A1C is higher, and I'm okay with it. I've been telling Tara about it for a while.
Good for you.
I know life's been
you don't know
really
what to do.
hard recently, and I just am part of how I coped with those other things I was going through over the last several months was by backing off on diabetes management. Now, the funny thing is all the habits you're describing, those are like a core part of my identity, really. So those are still all there, but at the same time, it's just the carefulness, the thinking ahead.
Right.
That, so I'm doing all my same daily habits, but without the thoughtful thinking ahead around insulin dosing and
okay, so would you say it's safe to frame that as, it's not that I don't have the time to do it, I may not have the bandwidth or the energy for it, and that's okay
the
for right
emotional
now.
If the opposite of I don't give a fuck is the emotional giving a fuck, I don't it's one,
and that's okay. But also, you know yourself well enough to know you're not going to stay there forever. And you have people that are close to you to say, hey, we've been here for 4 months. Is it time to change the sheets? Like,
she gets my CGM data.
A little bit. Like,
Yeah. And I mean, some days are very green and some days are not. And I look at it, I'm like, meh, what were you going to say, Tara?
Well, I just remember there was like a couple times I was at your house and we were working and I was like, are you sure you... I think I did a couple of dosings for you. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh.
Do you not remember? We were standing right at your kitchen sink and you were, I don't know, you were about to eat something or do something, or I dosed for you.
Oh.
That's...
Sounds about right.
Ginger, that's a good friend, Tara.
I think what I remember is I was holding. Yeah, she knows that I'm always grateful. I think I remember holding my insulin pen, but like then I put it back, and I think you were like, "You didn't actually take that."
There was that too, but I remember you were going to eat something and
holding that doesn't mean the same thing as actually taking the insulin. You held the pen. You didn't actually take the insulin.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if that helps. That process, Ginger, started before I actually fell in love with it.
Of course.
I didn't have any feelings toward this, but I started the action of it first. A lot of times we are waiting to feel something before we move toward and we fully embrace it, and the feelings don't come. Feelings follow actions. So I started the action first. Now, the feeling actually may have been, I'm not doing great, but that's not always the motivator. It's, I want to see some progress, and then I start feeling, that's my personality. That's just the way I'm wired. I could be crazy.
Yeah. Well, and it was so like we interviewed this guy recently who he doesn't have diabetes, but he's a trauma expert. And he was saying, like there's the two ways to look at it. And you've said this now. We can manage diabetes because we don't want to die, or we can approach our day so that and when manage our diabetes because we want to live well.
Oh my.
Right? And that's not even that's a little different than what he said in the recording. So but
You
like
should have him
the
back
little
on.
things,
That's really good.
he's awesome. Yeah, he was amazing. But the little things that like I know, getting up, walking my dogs, not drinking caffeine, not eating breakfast, then jumping rope. Those are all things that I'm motivated to do, not because I want to be someone that blah blah blah, right? But because they help me feel better and they help me live better with type 1 diabetes.
Yes. So there are two other little things and Gina and I actually talked about this beforehand. She goes, so Ginger's going to ask you, what did you do different? Are you going to be really honest with her? And I was like, no, I'm going to lie. 100%. I'm not going to tell her the truth, and she'll call me out about it. There are two other things that I shifted. One of those was the way that I exercise or the way that I'm active, and the other was the way that I approach food. And I want to be careful about the food side of it because it's not restrictive at all. I just pick and choose when I want to indulge and how I do, as opposed to before it was very much a response or a knee-jerk reaction to something that happened in my life, and you start to learn what your patterns are. Dairy Queen was a pattern after going to those appointments. So I notice when I get stressed out, I'm like, I tend to go towards certain foods, and that's a comfort for me. So I changed what some of those foods are, not the fact that I'm going to go to some of those foods. And I really got into, I'm in a group text with two other guys. They're dear friends of mine. It's literally called The Smoke Show. And it's just about like smoking meats. It's about like the process and the art of slow cooking food for a long time. We're just super nerding out about it and enjoying it. And I do that a lot. I know that you've talked about, so like, you don't need to do keto, you don't need to do paleo, you don't need to do all vegetables, you don't need to do whatever. There's got to be a healthy balance. And I have a healthy balance of mostly meats, vegetables, and whatever. I just don't sit down and eat a bowl of rice because I don't really enjoy it. Like, if I'm being completely honest, like to sit down and go, I want to eat some fettuccine Alfredo noodles and it's just not ever been my favorite. I'm not like a guy who tends to go towards those things. It's always the sweet side of things that I would go towards. And so I'm not like, I want to eat this savory thing. I want to eat this sweet thing. So I just slowly shifted what my go-tos are to something that is a little more manageable. And that might sound like a big swing, but I just chipped away at it slowly.
Yeah, you didn't go on some extreme diet where someone is telling you the rules.
Nope.
And that's
no.
that. Yeah.
So that part is one of the big shifts. And the other was, I could still hear your words, Tara. I guarantee you there are things that Ginger has said that still echo throughout your hallways. You're like, I'll never forget Ginger said this. And Ginger, you and I've joked about it because you told me I was an idiot for running the marathon. You're like, well, that's
so
stupid.
bad.
No. It's actually not, because I started really genuinely thinking about it. Okay, I'm going to tell you that you were right partially. You were partially right, Ginger. I can never give you full credit. When I ran that marathon, I was more doing it for the raise awareness, be an example, be on a team, and I wasn't actually doing it for me. And that is a huge difference. So when you start going out and running, you realizing you're eating a lot of these things that I didn't love having to eat while I'm out there running. A ton of glucose to keep your body going. The carbs, how do I, and I learned to manage it because I had to. I had signed up for this thing and I'm like, Neil, you better suck it up if you don't eat this and this and this. And some of those things I just don't typically do well with. Like oatmeal is not like my favorite, but I realized I have to do these overnight oats an hour and a half before I go run because they don't bother my stomach and they help me accomplish this thing, but I don't like them. So got done running the marathon and didn't run for 2.5 or 3 months. And I was like, I don't want to run ever again because I got burned out with that. Yeah. So around February, when I knew that we were talking about the steps thing coming up in March, I was like, what if I looked at running in a way that was more about actually enjoying it? I don't know. I think I may have told you this. The single most depressing sound on planet Earth is yourself running out of breath with your feet flapping on the pavement and you wishing it was over. Just like flap, 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 flap. Oh, I can't breathe. What are we doing? Our pets' heads are falling off. It's terrible. So I said, I am going to chip away at this and relearn how to run. And I'm not messing around with you. I started off with running for 1 minute, walking for 2. And I did that for 4 weeks. Learning how to breathe again, learning how to fuel again, learning what works and doesn't work. And around that time is when I fell in love with all of it because I was so curious. Because I was like, I don't want to do this because I have to. I want to see if I actually can enjoy this. You fast forward, it was like 4 weeks later, I moved up to, all right, I'll run for 90 seconds and walk for a minute.
Wow, you really took it easy.
Oh my gosh. It was so aggravating to me because I had just run 20, I ran through the station and did it. Successfully did a marathon and now I'm running this. So I'm like, nope, Neil, I know your tendency is to take big swings. Do I want to get good at running in 10 years or do I want to get good at running this month? I said, I want to be good at this for the long haul and chipped away at it. And I'm running right now between 80 and 100 miles a month.
Okay, what does that break down to?
I'm between 6 and 10 miles every 3 times a week, maybe sometimes 4.
Okay. Oh, we have my next guest is.
You should, Matt, come on in here. Well, welcome aboard,
Hey,
Matt.
Sorry. I was just trying to figure out how this app works.
Hey, Matt, join us. Join at 12:45. I just sent you a calendar invite to push it back a minute.
I got you.
All right.
Good to see you, Matt.
Yeah, you too.
Bye, Matt.
I don't know who Matt is.
Matt is. I'm interviewing him next. I just stumbled upon him in the Type 1 community on Instagram. He's.
Oh, cool.
I'd never heard of him before, and he just recently started posting. He's a super weightlifter, fitness Type 1 badass. Yeah.
Is that not how you introduced me?
Definitely not. But you're Neil, the diabetes dork.
That's me. That's me. I'll own it. So I don't know if that helps, but that curiosity is where
I think that's so important for people to hear because they'll be like, I got to go to CrossFit. And if I'm not doing CrossFit, I couldn't sustain it. I might as well give up. I mean, that's, like Tara and I have both been personal trainers forever. And that is what we just saw so much is people were all in or completely out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's been the story of my life. Yeah, Terry, you're not going to, you won't run a 5K until you start off with, I need to learn how to run around the block. And I need to make myself run around the block 3 times a week for 3 or 4 weeks until I feel like I completely have this. I'm ready to go to the next step. I have a lot of people.
Even before that, just walking every day for 20 minutes.
Which is where it all started. It started with walking a certain amount of steps a day. And then I'm like, hang on.
Right.
I've learned something through this, that my blood sugar does this and this. I need to turn this off so far in advance if I'm going to do this. If I've eaten beforehand or if I've eaten after, like all of those factors impact it. And so many of us, we go, I'm so frustrated I can never exercise again, or I can't even go for a walk because my blood sugar drops. Ginger, you said it. You said it in a podcast we recorded 4 months ago. You said if you're dropping low consistently during exercise, you have too much insulin. That's what it is. It isn't anything else. That is what it is.
Right.
And you start going, why do I have insulin still on board? Did I not plan well enough for this? So I had to be okay with the fact that spontaneity goes out the window for the most part. I got to be better at planning. And there are times where I can be spontaneous, but I just got to take some backup with me. That's all. Like if we want to go do something, do it, but I got to bring something with me.
You're going to have to eat something that you didn't really feel like eating. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's okay. It's totally fine. So it's, I genuinely, do you guys know Trista Johnson?
Yeah.
Trista, she actually she's starting her new job at Insulet.
Yes.
And you guys both know, you've worked with her at Risley. I've known her for several years. I called her about 4 months ago and said, Trista, I think things are going really well, but I don't think I can brag about this for a while. She's like, you should. I said, you're wrong, and I never should have called you. I was like, I said no, because here's the thing is like, as soon as I say something about this, I'm going to crash and burn or whatever. And she asked me, she goes, well, like, what is the thing? Like, what would you say? Like, what was the shift for you? I said, Trista, I think I love this. I think I actually enjoy learning how to take care of myself. Diabetes aside.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this isn't really about diabetes.
This is not, no, it wasn't that. Diabetes I happen to have, and it's given me something extra to take care of, like my little Tamagotchi or whatever. But it's like, I got something I got to take care of. But I genuinely started to enjoy it. So Gina and we just got back from vacation. We went for 5 days down the Pacific Coast Highway, and then I had a work trip out there. And I ran 2 or 3 times during that. We hiked through the redwoods one day. We were out walking on beaches. We weren't like, we're not like go lay on the beach type people. Like I want to go do something. I want to go throw rocks or find shells or fight somebody, or I just need to go do something. And we got back from vacation and I had all of the glucose gummies that I had taken. And I said, Gina, do you realize in 8 days, I only took 2 because I was going for a run and didn't want to go low. I didn't eat any because I went low. And we stood there in our living room and stared at each other in silence. And I said, as long as I've been alive, I couldn't tell you a time when we didn't go on vacation and I wasn't in some kind of a catch-up panic mode or whatever. And that doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but it's just become part of what I do, this taking care of myself, and I actually enjoy it. So it's just the little things that stack up. Those matter more than these massive, big, life-changing overhauls. Diabetes itself is a massive, life-changing overhaul, but the best approach toward it is small, incremental, bite-sized things. You don't need to solve type 1 diabetes all at one time. None of us can.
Right. Little daily habits. And really what you're describing in all of those habits is accountability and responsibility. Like just take accountability for your decisions.
Right.
And your decisions shape your results. And if you don't like your results, then look back. I mean, well, I guess I could try making different decisions to get different results. Yeah.
You know which challenge out of the year got the least response? Like people did not like it, did not do it, verbalized to me that they didn't want to do it. It's the one that I didn't talk about so far.
Yeah.
It was tracking. Just write down what you did last week. People hated it. They told me, they're like, man, I'm not going to do it. And a lot of it is because their doctor tells them they need to do it and doesn't ever tell them why. And I'm like, you can be as curious as you want, but I promise you, I forget what I ate yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't remember when I went and walked. I don't remember how much water I drank. So if I don't do it in the moment, and I'm talking like take 5 minutes out of your day, people did not like that one.
I'm not surprised because so anytime I've written or talked about like trying to improve your nutrition habits, I do mention like, hey, for a week, maybe 3 days, because you know, as a competitive athlete, I tracked the hell out of everything for I don't know, Tara, 2 years. I wrote everything down all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so did she, but I don't want to do that now. But I also don't need to do it now because I did it so much. I learned how to be more conscious and thoughtful about my food consumption, right?
I 100% agree with you. So I've got a streak going on MyFitnessPal of how many days, and I just broke the streak about a week ago. How many days? It's like 200 plus days in a row of logging my food.
Yep.
I don't need to. Now that doesn't mean that I will never do it, but that means that right now I feel good about where I'm at. But if some of the other lead measures, lag measures, whatever you want to call it, start to drift, I'll go back for a week and start writing things down to figure out what has changed. But you don't need to do it every single day, but at some point you gotta at least take stock in what you're doing. Where are you? What does your day look like?
I think why people don't want to do it too is because they don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
And that's what's so important about it is look at it and look at what you're doing to yourself with food.
Because would we have to be honest with ourselves?
Yeah, you have to. They don't want to do it because then you have to write down, okay, I ate all my meals. I thought it was a perfect day. And then I ate half a bag of Doritos right before bed.
Right.
Write it down so that you can look at it and reflect and see what's triggering this or that. And it doesn't mean you can't eat half a bag of Doritos before bed. It just means you need to do it in a way that's honest with yourself and not
So many people that I've coached a little bit through Risely have, and I'm not going to say any names, but actually I'd say it's the majority. They'll enter a lot of ghost carbs. They will into their pump because the pump isn't giving them enough insulin, so they'll just fake meals and things like that. I'm like, man, listen, your pump doesn't know the difference. You're just lying to it. Like, you should just tell it the truth. It doesn't care. It's a machine. It doesn't care. But if it doesn't know, it's not going to be able to change and update that. And you realize the problem isn't the pump side of it. It's that I don't really want to be honest about the fact that I just ate this or I just did that activity. And it only can use what you tell it. And I look back at it. You just said it, like, just be honest about it. Your podcast should be Ginger and Tara Tell the Truth. That's really what it should be. Truthiness with Ginger and Tara.
True thing.
People don't like to hear our truth.
Oh,
No, not
I'm here
always.
for it. I'm here.
And not a lot of people like brutal honesty. They don't like brutal honesty coming from someone else. They don't like to be brutally honest with themselves. So in training before with people, you would ask them to write down a week's worth of their meals just so you could, and in their exercise.
So you could help them. They want the help.
They will not do it. Or what I would find is a lot of people would write down, they would track, but they would skip picking at things like, I'm going to eat the rest of this sandwich off from my child's plate, or I'm going to eat this off from my partner's plate. And they tracked all their meals, but they didn't track all the little taste and tidbits.
Yeah, you cannot improve your nutrition habits if you don't look at what you're currently doing. But at the same time, also, we need to like nix I've been talking about this all month in my tips. We need to nix the whole, you got to eat perfect or you failed.
No one does that.
Silly. Yeah.
No one does that. Yeah. It's unreasonable.
It's just silly. Let's enjoy food, but you just try to make 80% of the day, relatively beneficial.
You said that in your book. You're like, listen, man, you got to, don't shoot for perfection because you're going to miss. And then when you miss, you blame yourself. There's so much shame in it. You're like, I'm never going to do that again.
And I need amaretto fudge. And Tara lives near the place. She drives past it all the time. Okay. And I'm waiting. I need more fudge, Tara. I don't make it to that part of the county. She's driving past it all the time.
I need more fudge, Tara.
This is the responsibility of being a best friend, Neil.
I was going to say, Neil. I'll
clock in. I will get the hours. I will drive there for you.
Oh, yeah. Supplying me with chocolate and dessert is a big part of her life. She'll just show up with a gluten-free loaf of bread and a bar of chocolate if she knew I had a rough day.
I do that
earlier this summer when I was having a real rough.
I see why you picked her. I see.
She knows what I need. Yeah. Well, okay. So
Well, I have one thing to add.
go ahead.
I
Yeah.
just want to say about your challenges that anybody out there that does not have type 1, they can do these challenges as well. And I highly encourage caregivers, partners, just to walk the walk and talk the talk along with their, person that's living with type 1.
That's a good point. Yeah, if you're asking your teenager to think carefully about what they're eating all day long.
Because I've done all of it. And
Yeah.
even though you talk about like rage bolusing and, over treating and stuff, like that you can change that to us. And for me, it's
Translate
like
it.
making sure that I'm eating so that I'm not waiting too long so that I'm overeating my first meal or eating my lunch or dinner because I went too long and didn't have a snack. Like you can utilize all of those things in your life as a non-type 1. So I've been following along and listening and doing what I'm supposed to do 80% of the time.
That's how you win. Like seriously, it's that you don't have to get 100%. The couple of, I don't know if you want a spoiler. I'll tell you where we're going in October, November, December if you want that. So
Love it.
Hey, if you want to
you're hearing this
reveal
part.
it,
I want
I'll
to.
they
reveal
heard it
No,
here first.
There's
So
nothing
go.
to steal because all this stuff is it's just out there. Everybody knows all this stuff. So November, we're actually talking about mind the gap. A lot of us fall off the wagon. How do you get back on? We'll walk away from taking care of ourselves for a couple days, which turns into weeks, which turns into months, and then the gap is too big to jump back into. You're like, it's insurmountable, right? I relate it to hydroplaning. Your tires are moving, but your car isn't going in the same direction anymore. You're just drifting, and we drift for a really long time. We're like, I'm not even on the road anymore. Where am I? How do you get back and
Keep
take?
listening to you.
Yeah, oh, well, thank you. Thank
No,
you.
Ginger, you got to keep listening.
December is going to be about some gratefulness and thankfulness of the things that have happened, like celebrating any win that you have had over the past year, but it's already planning for 26 because a lot of us wait until January and we feel the pressure of all of that. But how would you plan out your next year if you could be more thoughtful about it? And the reason why I'm doing this in November and December is there's a lot of parties, there's a lot of family events, there's a lot of things that are not our regular rhythm in life. So I'm like, listen, if we can be really aware of these are some of the pitfalls that are out there for us, if you knew where the potholes were in the road, you would avoid them. So if you know, hey, here's a couple, let's move around these. That's the general thought. I'm going to give you a really big spoiler. So there have been 12 challenges for 2025. I'm only going to do 6 next year.
Are we making them 2 months long? Yeah.
Yes. Because it's not that some hit and some didn't. Could it be even more simple than doing 12 different things a year? Could it be we boil it down to the 6 that matter the most? And I'm going to invite a lot of people into that process of which ones have worked for you and why, and build it off of just 6. Because if there was a portion of the population who says 12 is too many, you have no excuses when I say, let's do this for 2 months. And let's see some of that steadiness over time, because that's what I noticed. I want to rush the process sometimes. I want to go from I'm running 4 minutes and taking a minute break. I want to move right past that because I can't wait to get to 5. And I have to be patient enough to let this stick and learn what I need to learn in this moment. Because if I jump ahead to the next one, I haven't gained what I needed to gain in the process for this to become something that is a habit.
Yeah.
That's the goal for next year. So it's only 6 of them in 2026.
Cool. Okay.
I'm ready.
is a
I'm going to vote on my 6.
Okay.
That I think.
All right.
She will.
Great. All right.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Awesome. Wow. Neil, wow. You really wrapped that up and tied it with a bow.
I'm doing my best out here. I'm not muscular, so I can't really lean on that as my go-to. Apparently, I'm just a bit of a dork, so I'm
But
leaning
you're
into that.
brilliant. You're brilliant.
I'm trying. Thank
I
you.
think you missed your calling, Neil, as like the white man Oprah Winfrey.
I actually
know,
thought
I'm gonna
about
say
doing some of my favorite things in December. I'm not joking you. I'm not messing with
See?
you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
When you give away a car, let us know.
Please do not label me as the white man Oprah Winfrey, but my
I can't believe
gosh.
you said that.
I
But I
think
will
that's fun to
say,
say. I think you've got
yeah.
Oprah Winfrey vibes.
It's so
Oh my
funny.
And
gosh.
it's deep. It's the deep, insightful, looking at the problem and giving people a really empowering way to work through the problem.
That's true.
I think we got to talk about the problem sometimes,
Yeah.
right? We want all this other stuff. Like, let's just acknowledge what the problem is.
And I do think there's a way to communicate to people about how to stay, like when you learn a new habit and you're learning these new things, communicate a way, like how do you keep these up? And that to me, a big one is like following the people, listening to people that inspire you, that have these daily habits. Keep reading, keep watching, keep listening.
Well, we were just talking, Tara, about how when shit hits the fan in life or something's really stressful, those habits don't go away for us because it drives me crazy. I have a friend who it's like every 3 months she's either on or off her exercise plan, right? And as a result, life is either, her weight's up and she's frustrated and et cetera, et cetera. For me, part of coping is always going to be walking my dogs and jumping rope, right? And that wasn't the case 20 years ago. I didn't know how I managed stressful days by overeating when I was 19. So it's a learned thing, but you have to first look at the overeating, the stress eating, and acknowledge it and be like, oh my gosh, this is not actually helping me.
Yeah.
And then, and just in time, it becomes like, I'm never going to let go of those new habits because I know they help me and
Right.
I'm going to prioritize them, period.
Your friend, I think about this. I don't know that I've like actively talked about it enough. When we keep setting those goals and going back on them because maybe they're too audacious, we actually stop trusting ourselves. And we don't have the same amount of energy going toward the next time we try and take a big life swing and a new goal like that. Deep down internally, we just know probably not gonna, I can't see myself doing this, but I'm gonna try, I'm gonna do whatever. And we just lose trust in ourselves in the process. And I know that feeling. That's why if you keep it a little bit smaller and you can keep it consistent, you're like, oh, okay, I can do
Right.
that.
Right.
That's
I'm
actually,
just
that
looking
might
at it
actually
as
be too
today.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
I mean, and so like the last week and a half, my energy's been a little sensitive. I have chronic fatigue as part of my fibro. And for whatever reason, maybe the season's shifting, I've been really sensitive to exercise and not making it through the day with enough energy where I kind of have to crash and sleep for 25 minutes or
Yeah.
35. You know what I mean? And to me, that's a red flag. It's not like, oh, Ginger, just let yourself take a nap. It's a sign that something's off, right? And so there was one day where I did 5 minutes of jumping rope after I walked the dogs. The dogs always get their walk. But, it was like I just knew, okay, my body can't handle 30 minutes of jumping today. And today I only did 20. Yesterday I felt a lot better than I did the days before. So I was like, all right, I'm going to see how it feels, right? But wait, I need to just go back and say that the thing you just said about not trusting yourself is such an Oprah thing to say.
Gosh.
It really is.
We're sticking with this. Okay.
Right, you're not getting out of this one, Neil.
I
It's a
know,
good
I-
thing you have thick skin. That's all I have to say. She is you.
I have
That's
no
not true.
feelings at
You
all.
really need to think your best friend.
But you need to rethink your best friend goals.
Yeah,
I've called you both a diabetes dork and Oprah Winfrey. I mean, that's balance.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
it. I'll take it. I'm mad
Both
at
come from love.
whew.
it. You guys are
All right.
amazing. Thanks for letting me do
All
this
right.
with you. I've been
Yeah,
really
Neil,
excited
we
about
love
this
you.
one.
Thank
Thanks.
you, Neil.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good to see you. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay. I'm on Instagram, obviously, the Beaties. You can't change your handle on Instagram. I've changed so many times. You can't combine it. Well, you can change it, but you can't combine it with your actual name. So I'm stuck with the Beaties. That's that. The website is yourbestt1dyear.com. I've also got a ton of resources on neilgreathouse.com, but any of those three would be great. And the podcast is called Your Best T1D Year. It is new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They're between 5 and 7 minutes long, so they're super bite-sized. They're funny. They're encouraging. You'll feel really affirmed. You'll feel like, oh, I'm not crazy, or oh, I'm not alone, or wow, that guy's way worse off than I am, and I'm doing great now. One of those feelings you'll walk away
You'll
with.
also definitely feel like that guy's such a dork, which is when
You're gonna
we
feel
were
that.
listening to your podcast when I said to Tara, he is the diabetes dork.
I have two long form episodes that come out on Mondays throughout the course of the month, and Ginger was the first one that I did, and it went so well. I was like, oh, I could do this again. And we have a guest on that is, they're connected to whatever that month's theme is, and they're a lot of fun.
Cool. Okay. And find Neil's books on Amazon.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's some books. Hey, if they haven't watched, I don't know when this airs. If they haven't watched, there are two things that you should watch on YouTube, and one of them is called Type 1 Day 1. I made a short film years ago about what you're going through on the day you get diagnosed. And it is a lot of footage from people all over the globe that send in, hey, listen, you're not crazy. You're not alone. This is what I dealt with. But it's also walking you through what my diagnosis story was. And it's super encouraging. Like, you're going to feel like I can go conquer the world after watching that one. It's less than 30 minutes.
Okay.
And that was done with Beyond Type 1 back in the day. And the other one it's a full length, it's an hour and a half feature length documentary called Bike Beyond. And we followed 21 cyclists from 5 different countries who all live with type 1 diabetes, just amateur cyclists that rode their bikes from New York City to San Francisco. And it is narrated by Victor Garber. Nick Jonas helped us produce it. He's in it, and I watch it every year. Every November, I rewatch it, and I'll post it, in my feed and all that kind of stuff. But it inspires me. It shows you what people are actually capable of, and those people on that trip became some of my best lifelong friends. I've been in their weddings or been in big moments with them ever since then, and it's incredible what people living with type 1 can actually do. It just amazes me.
Cool. Well, I'll make sure to include those in the show notes. I haven't seen either of those. Shame on me.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, you should be. You should be.
All right. Neil, we love you. Thank you.
Thanks. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right.